everybody, and welcome back to XOXO Alex. I am so excited. It is almost Halloween, which means it's spooky. And I have a very exciting book. Look at the ghost. Okay, this one is called It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. This is by the author Charles M Schulz. Okay, let's get started. It was a brisk autumn day, but it wasn't just any autumn day. It was Halloween. Charlie Brown was busy raking leaves while Snoopy was busy playing in them. Here's Charlie. Here's Snoopy the dog playing in the leaves. And look.
Good grief.
Should I play it one more time? That's Charlie Brown. He says, "Good grief."
Good grief.
You want to try it? Okay. Press that button right here.
Good grief.
Good job. Okay. Lucy stopped by with a football. "How about practicing some plays, Charlie Brown?" asked Lucy. "I'll hold the ball and you come running and kick it." "You must think I'm really stupid," replied Charlie Brown. "You just want me to come running up to the ball so you can pull it away and watch me fall flat on my back." "This time you can trust me," said Lucy, flashing a toothy grin. Here's Lucy. She's always up to no good. So Charlie Brown doesn't know if he can trust her. Let's see what happens. But Charlie Brown didn't believe her. "No," answered Charlie Brown. "No, no, and no." "Please, Charlie Brown," Lucy pleaded. "I have a signed document testifying that I will not pull the ball away." Charlie Brown grabbed the piece of paper and studied it. "It is signed. I guess if you have a signed document in your hand, you can't go wrong. It looks like I'm really going to kick the football this year." With that, Charlie Brown backed up and charged. Just as he was about to kick the ball, Lucy pulled it away, and Charlie Brown fell flat on his back. Oh no! "Arg!" Charlie Brown screamed in pain. Lucy picked up the piece of paper. "Funny thing, this signed document was never notarized."
Good grief.
So, notarized means it wasn't really official. So the signed piece of paper didn't really matter. And Lucy tricked poor Charlie Brown. And he says, "Good grief."
Good grief.
Meanwhile, Linus was inside writing an important letter. "Dear Great Pumpkin, I'm looking forward to your arrival on Halloween night." Charlie Brown approached his friend. "What are you writing, Linus?" "It's the time of year to write a letter to the Great Pumpkin," answered Linus. "Who?" asked Charlie Brown, looking confused. Here's Linus. And Linus says,
On Halloween night, Great Pumpkin rises out of the pumpkin patch and flies through the air with his bag of toys for all the children.
"Oh, did you hear that?" Okay, I'll play it one more time. So this is what Linus says.
On Halloween night, toys for all the children.
He flies through the air with all the toys for the children? Whoa! After Charlie Brown left, Linus continued writing his letter. You must get discouraged because more people believe in Santa Claus than in you. Santa does get more publicity, and that might make you number 2. But that means that you really just need to try harder. So the Great Pumpkin, Linus is saying, is similar to Santa Claus because he flies around and gives toys and things like that. Just then, Lucy appeared. Oh, brother, moaned Lucy. Linus, are you writing a letter to that stupid pumpkin again? Linus nodded. I am the laughingstock of the neighborhood because every year my little brother writes a letter to the Great Pumpkin, cried Lucy, and stormed off. Lucy is not a very good big sister. She's not very nice to Linus. Sally appeared just as Linus was signing his letter. What are you doing, Linus? Asked Sally. Linus hesitated, and then answered. I'm writing a letter to the Great Pumpkin. He rises out of the pumpkin patch on Halloween night and brings bags of toys for children everywhere. Oh, Linus, swooned Sally. You say the cutest things. So Sally likes Linus, and she thinks what he said was cute. Hey, Sally, would you like to sit with me in the pumpkin patch on Halloween night and wait for the great pumpkin together? Asked Linus. Uh-oh. Let's see what she says.
Oh, Linus, you say the cutest things. I'd love to.
You want to play it one more time? She says, oh, Linus, you say the cutest things. I'd love to.
Oh, Linus, you say the cutest things. I'd love to.
Linus went to mail his letter. Really, Linus? Cried Lucy. Just how do you think you are going to mail that letter anyway? You can't possibly reach the mailbox, and I'm not going to help you. Linus whipped his blanket in the air, hooked a corner of it onto the handle, and pulled open the mailbox. He then sent his letter flying into the air. Lucy watched as the letter slid into the open mailbox. Like that, replied a triumphant Linus, and he walked away. So Linus was showing Lucy who's a boss. Woo woo! Look at that move. Way to go, Linus. Woohoo! Just then, Charlie Brown ran up waving a piece of paper in his hand. Hey, exclaimed Charlie Brown. I got an invitation to Violet's Halloween party. Lucy rolled her eyes. She went like this. Oh, oh. Oh, brother, she said with a sneer. Charlie Brown, if you got an invitation, then it must have been by mistake. Lucy, do you know if Linus is going to the party? Asked Sally. Lucy sighed. Probably not. That blockhead brother of mine will be out in the pumpkin patch making a fool of himself, just like he does every year. But maybe there really is a great pumpkin, said Sally. Do I get to go trick-or-treating this year? Sally asked her big brother. Sure, Sally, replied Charlie Brown. Oh boy, exclaimed Sally. How do we do it? It's very simple, Lucy said. All you have to do is walk up to a house and ring the doorbell. When the person opens the door, you say, tricks or treats? Sally looked suspicious. Are you sure that's legal? Oh, good grief, Lucy cringed. Of course it's legal. Oh, man. Ooh, somebody's looking spooky. Everyone met later that afternoon at Lucy's house in their costumes. A person should always pick a costume which is in direct contrast to one's own personality, said Lucy, as she lowered a witch mask over her face. Lucy looked Charlie Brown up and down. Really, Charlie Brown? What are you supposed to be anyway? Charlie Brown responded from underneath the cut-up sheet. A ghost! I guess I had a little trouble with the scissors. There's his costume, so he has a little bit more holes, but what's a ghost say? Yeah. Boo! Boo! Pika! Boo! Good. A moment later, Snoopy pranced by all dressed up for Halloween. Uh-oh. Look at Snoopy, the dog dressed up for Halloween. What is he supposed to be? Asked Lucy. A pilot from World War I, replied Charlie Brown. Now I've heard everything, cried Lucy. Okay, everyone, we'll go trick-or-treating and then head over to Violet's for the Halloween party. Everyone got their bag to fill? And let's see what Snoopy says. That's his pilot song. A pilot flies a plane. The trick-or-treaters passed Linus, who was settled in the pumpkin patch waiting for the great pumpkin. Have you come to sing pumpkin carols? Asked the hopeful Linus. Oh, good grief, cried Lucy, throwing her arms in the air. Lucy turned to Sally. Well, are you coming with us or not? Sally looked back and forth from Linus to her friend and then back at Linus. She went along, but at last minute she ran back. I'm glad you decided to stay, Linus said to Sally. Do you really think he'll come? Asked Sally. So Sally ended up coming with Linus to wait for the great pumpkin, which was very nice. And this is what Linus said.
On Halloween night, Great Pumpkin rises out of the pumpkin patch and flies through the air with his bag of toys for all the children.
So right now, Linus and Sally are waiting to see if the great pumpkin is really going to come this year. Meanwhile, the trick-or-treaters were starting their rounds in the neighborhood. Each time someone opened their door, everyone cried. You want to say it? 1, 2, 3. Trick or treat! Good job. Could I have an extra piece for my blockhead of a brother, please? Said Lucy, flashing a toothy grin. He couldn't come with us because he's sitting in a pumpkin patch waiting for the great pumpkin. The trick-or-treaters worked their way through the neighborhood. After every few houses, they stopped to take stock of what they had received. It's so embarrassing that I have to ask for extra candy for that blockhead Linus, said Lucy as she looked through her bag. Looks like I got 5 more pieces of candy. And I got a fudge bar, said Violet. Pack of gum, added Peppermint Patty. A rock, cried Charlie Brown. Not again. No one noticed that Snoopy was missing. But Charlie Brown got a rock in his bag instead of candy, and he said, Good grief. Good grief. Okay, but now Snoopy is missing. Uh-oh. Snoopy had gone off by himself and climbed on top of his doghouse. He pretended it was World War I airplane. Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta! The World War I flying ace fired his machine guns. Rat-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta! The Red Baron fired back. Whoa! He's at battle. He's really taking this costume to heart, isn't he? Curse you, Red Baron! The brave pilot went down with his plane. The World War I flying ace sneaked off into the night. Behind enemy lines, he took his shelter where he could, but always pressed on toward his goal. What a brave Halloween pilot dog. When everyone finished trick-or-treating, they started walking to Violet's house for the party. On their way, they passed by the pumpkin patch. Well, has the great pumpkin been by yet? Asked Violet with a smirk. You missed trick-or-treating, and now you are going to miss the Halloween party, Peppermint Patty said. Sally stepped forward and replied, You all think you are so smart. You just wait. The great pumpkin is going to show. Linus knows what he is talking about. With that, the kids left for Violet's party. It's looking pretty spooky. Once at the Halloween party, everyone started to partake in the Halloween festivities. Some were carving pumpkins, while others were getting ready for Bob the Apples. Ready to bob for apples. So this is Lucy and Snoopy. They bobbed for the same apple. Apple. Out of my way, said Lucy, stepping up to the barrel. Let me show you how it's done. After a few seconds, Lucy pulled her head out of the bucket, but instead of just pulling out an apple, she pulled out a beagle. Snoopy's a beagle. Beagle is a type of dog. Ew, cried Lucy. My lips touched dog lips. Gross. Icky, icky. Later at the pumpkin patch, Linus and Sally were still waiting for the great pumpkin to make an appearance. Suddenly, a rustling noise came from the middle of the pumpkin patch. They both turned toward the noise. Uh-oh.
I hear the great pumpkin. There he is. There he is. It's the great pumpkin. He's rising up out of the pumpkin patch.
Linus was so overwhelmed with excitement that he fainted. Uh-oh. He went, and fell to the ground because he got so excited. Within seconds, Linus came to his senses and sat up. He looked around and asked, What happened? Did I faint? Did he leave us any toys? I was robbed, Sally yelled. Halloween is over and I missed it. You kept me up all night waiting for the great pumpkin. The only thing that came was a beagle. When the great pumpkin comes, I'll still put a good word in for you, Linus yelled to Sally, but she was gone. Oh, great pumpkin, moaned Linus. Where are you? Later that night, Lucy woke up, looked at her clock, and went to check on her brother. He was not in his room, so she went outside and found him sleeping in the pumpkin patch. She picked him up, carried him home, and put him to bed. The next morning, Charlie Brown and Linus met up. Well, another Halloween has come and gone, and all I got was a bag full of rocks, said Charlie Brown. I guess the great pumpkin never showed.
On Halloween night, Great Pumpkin rises out of the pumpkin patch and flies through the air with his bag of toys for all the children.
So Charlie Brown said, I guess the great pumpkin never showed up. And Linus says,
Waiting for the great pumpkin isn't stupid. Just wait until next year, Charlie Brown. You'll see. I'll find a pumpkin patch that's real sincere. And I'll wait until the great pumpkin rises up with his bag of toys for all the children. Just you wait, Charlie Brown. You'll see.
And who knows, maybe next year the great pumpkin will come at a different pumpkin patch. And that is the end. Did you like that book? I loved it. So here, this is Linus, Snoopy, and Sally at the front. At first I thought that was Charlie Brown, but that's actually Linus. And the great pumpkin. Okay, that is all. And I cannot wait to see you next time for another story time. Bye-bye. Mwah.